And women belong in a kitchen. Why? Aren't you meant to be the smart ones? Poor little old dumb me doesn't know how to cut a potato, sorry. Men handle the important stuff. What, like masturbating into a fucking sock? Because last time I checked, it's women that give birth, and there's nothing more important than that. A woman's job is to obey. And yet don't I hear every single man say, oh, gotta ask my missus before they do anything? Seems like you're the submissive ones, not us. Your body matters more than your opinion. Okay, well my body is telling you to fuck off. Because a man always reduces a woman down to what he is. What was she wearing? Oh, so we're blaming fabric over behavior now, are we? Well, please do excuse as the knife goes into your stomach. It's not my fault your clothes weren't thick enough. You're overreacting. You don't think I'm overreacting. You just think I should be more quiet. And this often happens when women stop prioritizing men's comfort.
A man who expects you to sleep with them on the first date because they have paid £5 for a drink or a coffee is embarrassing. They are basically telling you that they are too broke to pay for a working girl, so they expect you, a girlie that works a 9 to 5, to become a working girl because they are too broke to pay for a guarantee of what they want. Besties, please start laughing in these men's faces when they expect you to sleep with them just because they bought you a drink or paid for dinner. Just look at it and think, this is embarrassing. Or failing that, just start crop dusting these men. That'll soon get them away. Anyway, thanks in advance and sharing for awareness.
And niggas be so irritating. You tell a nigga you hungry. He be like, I got something for you to eat. And you be like, and what is that? This dick? Blocked. Because I just don't have time for them conversations no more. I'm at the age where, baby, I can't. You tell a nigga you just got out the shower, they be like, without me? And now it make me think like, did you not wash your ass today? Because if you waiting for me, I know you ain't washed your shit. You ask a nigga what he trying to eat. I'm trying to eat you. And it's just like at some point I just be like, are y'all okay? Like, are y'all really okay? Because there's no way that y'all are overly freaked out like that. Y'all just be so hungry, dehydrated, so thirsty. Just, I can't. I'm at the age, baby, where I can't do all that. Get the fuck out of my phone, respectfully.
A question I always hear women asking is like, why do men always go for the women that want a serious relationship rather than just go for the women that also just want to hook up, that also just don't want something serious and they just want to have fun? And it's not because women that want to hook up don't exist. They exist. It's not that they can't find any women that just want to hook up. It's because it's a power dynamic. They want to coerce women, lie and manipulate and pretend to be somebody they're not. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's too dramatic. That's not true. They've told this to me to my face. A lot of them have admitted it. Men don't want to be with a woman that wants the same things. They want the power dynamic of it, and they want to trick and manipulate women into having sex with them to have power over you. That's what it's about. And this is why situationships are predatory and at the very least emotionally and mentally abusive. Because if you have to lie, scheme, trick, or coerce somebody into having sex with you, you're a predator.
Yes, we would rather pay 100% of our bills than split bills with you. Because what if we go out to eat and you buy more food than I do and we split the bill? I'm essentially paying more. What if my electricity bill was $50 and then you move in or I move in and all of a sudden it's $120? I'm paying more. What if I move in with you and you start stressing me the fuck out? I'm still paying more. And what if bills are due and you don't have it? I'm still paying more. What if I come home from work and I just want some peace and you're there? I'm still paying more. What if we buy $300 worth of groceries and you eat $200 worth of groceries? I'm still paying more. I say that to say this. 50-50 does not benefit a woman at all. Hell, marriage don't even benefit a woman, but that's another conversation for another day. But why would we want to lose our peace and destroy our nervous system to split dollars with you? Now money and fairness becomes a focal part of our relationship. Who wants that?
A man with doe eyes will never not piss me off. The fuck are you looking at, beautiful? Trying to have a regular conversation with you, and you're sitting over there with big, beautiful, round eyes and long eyelashes, making puppy dog eyes at me. I just feel like if you're a man, your eyes should barely be open. You know what I mean? Like, your own field of vision should be blocked by your eyelids. And then on top of that, they'll have the nerve to have like blue or green or hazel or like caramel brown in the sunlight colored eyes. Fuck off. That's for girls. You're sitting in front of me, gorgeous right now, and you're mogging the fuck out of me, and I don't like that. I'm not cool with that.
All women do is use men for their money. Really? You think that a woman who spends $150 on her nails, $250 on the hair salon, hundreds on clothes and gym memberships, pays for her own car, her own rent, her own degree, her own Pilates classes, is strategically plotting around your $75 dinner?
Men love asking why women no longer want to get married or have kids, or why the birth rate is declining, but this is how they treat mothers postpartum. This is why rich men are dating younger women. Look at what happened to Rihanna. Rihanna at 20, Rihanna at 37. Not acknowledging that this is Rihanna after having 3 kids in 3 years. And let's not act like she doesn't still look good as fuck. Then we've got beautiful comments like this one. Women's operational currency is in their looks predominantly. Most women hit the wall post 31 to 35. Y'all want women to have more babies, but the second her body looks like she carried those babies, you have an issue with that. Imagine growing 3 beautiful babies, something that the men of the world keep screeching we aren't doing enough of, and then being told, but you don't look the same as you did when you were 20. All this to say that men are not lonely enough. Remember, they can always be lonelier.
Men aren't even cheating to get coochie. Like, actively meeting up with a woman and getting coochie is not really the goal. So, if you found your man, like, having, like, a ton of stuff in his phone, like, talking to other bitches and stuff like that, the only reason he was doing that is for novelty, the chase, and just to say that he could get somebody that looks like that person. Which, that doesn't make it any better, but it's also, like, just letting you know that it wasn't about, like, actually having physical contact with her. It was pretty much just knowing that he could get her. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know you're dealing with a lustful demonic creature with an entity on his back that has ego issues and is sometimes insecure, usually, because he needed that validation without even physically getting any. Like, you could be giving it to him all the time. It doesn't matter. He needs his ego boosted by knowing that he could get another girl that looked like that or something. It had nothing to do with actually what you were not doing or what you were doing.
The amount of times I've been on dates with white men and they've asked me if I've dated black guys before is ridiculous. I was on a date with this white guy in Chicago last year and he goes, so who do you typically date? The guys that look like me? I knew exactly what he was getting at because most white guys will ask this question at some point because they're trying to figure out ultimately if you're, quote, tainted. I literally said to him, does it bother you that you think about black men so much more than they will ever think about you? And that ended the conversation, but obviously we didn't go on a second date and I do think he was pretty offended by that. But the amount of white guys, even who are, quote, liberal, who are genuinely threatened and intimidated by you going on a date with people of color is ridiculous. Because it's not just black men. If they find out that you've dated a South Asian man or you've been on dates with women, specifically women of color, they will react similarly. Although it is obviously the most pronounced and genuinely disgusted that they will look if you say that you have been on dates with black men. But this is just one example of white men trying to figure out the, quote, purity of the white women they're seeing. And it's a way of resource guarding their own women because they don't like white women seeing other races or other genders.
I go on Instagram, I see 500 million hot girls. I go on the street, I see hot girls. I go to the bar, I see hot girls. I see hot girls everywhere. I see a hot girl on my timeline in my life every single day that I walk out on the street in this world. Do I see hot guys? No. I go in the bar.
Where are all the hot people? It's like nobody's hot these days. Go on the street. Maybe you see a good looking dude here or there. He's hand in hand with some lady. Cool. Awesome. You go to the gym. Where are all the hot people? Where are they? Did they die? Like, genuinely, I know so many beautiful, attractive women in my life. How many attractive men do I know? Maybe 2. Would I date them? No. The ratios don't add up. And it's like, I just want a hot boyfriend. Like, I really just want, like, a sexy, stupid hot boyfriend who's smart and obsessed with me and liberal and my best friend. Why is that so hard? I just got out of the shower. Can you tell?
Okay, so I will not be seeing that man again. So he shows up. I'm there before him, of course, but he was only like 2 minutes late. I was going to be strict with it. I was going to be like, if he doesn't come at this time, I'm gone. But he showed up. We get to Andy's, go to the host end. Like, I have a reservation for 2. Loved that. Loved the reservation part of that. Like, for the first like 10 or 15 minutes, like, he would not shut up. He's like telling me about himself. He's like, yeah, like my life is like a movie, and like, you know, I've had so many different experiences. Like, I lived in Europe for so long, and I played soccer professionally. I have businesses, built this house. I'm supposed to go back to Europe, like to like do social experiments. Like, I went so viral, so famous. Like, I wasn't able to like live life normally. I wanted to leave, but I stayed because I was intrigued by him and his delusions. So anyways, we get into the subject about misogyny, female empowerment, and he is saying the most outlandish, crazy shit I've ever heard of. Like, he was like, men are functioning in their masculine energy anymore, and I've lost friends for being too much in their feminine energy. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean, like, men are in their feminine energy? Like, is that a bad thing? Like, no, I've lost friendships to guys who are just functioning out of their feminine energy because, like, I'm supposed to do business with this guy, and they, like, run to their girlfriends when they're upset. And I, like, really was like, I don't understand what's happening right now. He said that women are biologically made to like find better men which emasculate them, and it's our fault somehow that we emasculate them and make them in their feminine energy. Like, he wants children, and he was like, I want to be in my masculine energy and I want to provide, but then I expect the woman to like take care of the children. He's like, do you want children? I'm like, funny you say that, because you literally proved my point as to why I don't want children, that I would be in a relationship with a man that expects me to take all the work of being a parent. And then he was like, well, no, but like, if I have to provide. And I'm like, see, that's where you're wrong, because I'm also wanting to achieve, do things, have my own business, have my own passions, like work as well. And so why does that responsibility fall on me as a woman? And then he backpedaled. He's like, oh, no, that's what I'm like, no, that's what you said. Stand on business. And we were just arguing the whole time. Oh, my God, guys. He's like, oh, yeah, like, I got asked to be on Love Island. And I'm like, what? You're a liar. I didn't say that. But he's like, yeah, I like did this. I was doing this social experiment. It went super mega viral, and I average about 20 million views a week. And I'm like, I hate everything that's happening right now.
It is incredible how unbelievably naive people are when it comes to marriage, especially women who are past the age of like 35 and who still think that, oh, I'm going to find a guy who loves me so much and it's going to be so romantic and I'm going to be able to sit with a straight man and talk to him about feelings. Are you high? It doesn't exist. Go and read Strangers. It's this new book. It's a memoir about this marriage that fell apart during COVID. And it really shows you what men are and who they are and what a marriage is. And these people had money, and it's not about the money. It's about women believing this fairy tale that a Prince Charming is going to appear and take your breath away and be hot and rich and loving you. And honest, it doesn't exist. So before you go ahead and go buy your wedding dress, before you even have a first date, please read this book. You're not anxious, you're just male-centered. Let me explain. Because I see women all the time who talk about decentering men or how they have decentered men, and yet they also talk about how they are racked with guilt and anxiety every single day. And what people don't understand is that that is male-centeredness. Being male-centered goes so much deeper than just like being boy-obsessed or caring about men's approval. It's built in from day one. And because of that, you could literally yeet every single man that you speak to on a regular basis completely out of your life, and you could still be male-centered. Because as long as that programming is there, that programming is going to keep you focused on men's approval even when you don't have an actual man to seek the approval of. And that's how they keep us in line. Because you don't have to be obsessing over how to keep one man happy. If you are spending all of your time and energy trying to navigate the confusing, contradictory rules about what a woman can be in this society to be pleasing to a man. Because that's the unspoken part of it. When you have this little voice in your head that's like, women don't laugh that loudly, women aren't that ambitious, women aren't masculine in this way, women have to be feminine in this way, you're going to be doing all of your own like self-regulating without anyone having to tell you. And if you're not spending your effort taking that unconscious conditioning and forcing it to become conscious so that you can actually get rid of it, then you will keep operating on that automatic programming. Which means the work of decentering men, the work of actually getting rid of that anxiety, the work of actually creating a life that is enjoyable for you to live as a woman is not just about like reading books by women, listening to music by women, not taking men's advice so much. It's actually about getting rid of the man who lives rent-free up here.
When I was younger, I used to look up to women in their 30s and say, wow, they're so beautiful. Like, that's the standard. That's the, like, top tier. And now that I'm well into my 30s, oh my God, was I correct. Being in your 30s is the prime. Like, 20-year-olds, you can have it. When you're in your 30s, you not only have your own money, you know what works on you. You've been through all the mud, the dirt, you've risen, you're like a fucking phoenix, okay? You don't deal with anybody's shit because you absolutely do not have to. But more than that, you aesthetically are just the most beautiful you've ever been as a woman. And when men say you're most beautiful in your 20s, they could not be more incorrect. As you age, you come to find out what works for you, what doesn't, what you need, what you don't. And it is just so funny to me because I used to think of these women as like, they're women. They're actual women. When you're in your 20s, you're still a girl. Like, I'm sorry, you're technically a woman, but you are still a girl. When you get to your 30s, you are at such an age of vibrance. You literally glow. Okay, you glow. If you take care of yourself and you take the right steps in life, like, you will glow. Your 30s are by far, and I speak for myself and a lot of women that I see on here, you're most beautiful that you've ever been. You're most beautiful. Your character shines through, and it is just everything about you. You are the epitome of femininity and of being a woman. Never be scared to age. I do a lot of aesthetics, and it's just because I want to look good. Honestly, I do it for myself, but wisdom is the most beautiful thing, and your 30s, I would even say going into my 40s, this is the most beautiful I've ever been in my life. I know I look like a troll right now, but believe me when I say it was worse before this.
Guys, I don't know what's happening right now, but men our age are literally evolving backwards. A new study came out and they found out that 31%, that's almost 1 in 3 of Gen Z men believe that a woman should always obey her husband. 1/3 of Gen Z men, that's like 1 in 3, believe that a husband should always have final word on important decisions. What the fuck? They said that Gen Z men born between 1997 and 2012 were twice as likely as baby boom men, so men born between 1946 and 1964, to have traditional views on decision making within a marriage. That's compared to 13% of baby boomer men. Guys, look at the graph. That is baby boomers. That's Gen X. That's millennials. That's Gen Z men. Why is the graph going up? Why are men our age less progressive than our grandfathers? 24% of Gen Z men, almost a quarter, compared to 12% of baby boomer men, agree that a woman should not appear too independent or self-sufficient. 21% of Gen Z men think a real woman should never initiate intimacy. That's compared to 7% of baby boomers. 59% of Gen Z men say that men are expected to do too much to support equality.
I can't believe this. 30% of Gen Z men who responded to the survey believe men should not say I love you to their friends. That's compared to 20% of their grandfathers. 43% of Gen Z men agree that young men should try to appear physically tough, even if they're not naturally big. 21% of Gen Z men believe that men who take part in caregiving for children are less masculine. That's compared to 8% of baby boomer men. We're cooked. We are so cooked.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but the men in your life, you know, the ones that you're spending all of your time just spinning your wheels, trying to get them to understand, because they really just aren't grasping the gravity of the situation that's happening here, and they're hitting you with all of these like, but what's really going on? And like, I just don't understand why you're so upset. Yeah, those men, they understand. They do. They understand. They're not stupid. The fully grown man sitting across from you is not completely ignorant of everything going on around him in the world. He's not a fully functioning adult who can hold down a job, but he can't understand basic concepts when they're coming from the person he's in a relationship with. He understands. He is using the same tactic that men have been using for so fucking long because they know it lets them get away with shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea that would hurt you, babe. Oh, I'm so sorry, babe. I had no idea that you cared about that. I'm so sorry. I had no idea that was your boundary. Oh, babe, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you didn't want to do that in bed. Why are you crying? Like, they understand. Not only do they understand, but please understand that when they use that tactic, instead of actually understanding you, it's not just that they don't understand or that they don't care enough. They do. They care, and they like it. Because you know the end of this means him no longer having to ask you what you like in bed, because you no longer have legal rights to it. He'd no longer have to listen to you rant or talk back, because you wouldn't have the right. And he likes that. So please, for the love of God, stop spinning your wheels, trying to explain humanity and empathy to men, thinking that their problem is that they don't understand, and if they just understood that they would care too. They won't, because they do. Their problem is not understanding. Their problem is low character, low humanity, and low empathy. And the sooner you can recognize that, the sooner you will stop wasting your energy and your humanity trying to give it to someone else.
It 100% is abusive. And this is actually the same tactic that abusers use on their victims, by the way, okay? Abusers will coerce their victims into doing things that are against their own will. They say, well, you know, the victim was compliant. I told you, I just wanted fun, right? This is a very common tactic that abusers use. So it's very concerning. It's very concerning that men use these tactics. But what's more concerning is that they don't think there's anything wrong with what they're doing. That's the part that is really concerning. They're unaware. They don't actually think it's a big deal. They don't get it. They don't get it. They're like, why is that a big deal? Why is that a big deal? We like the chase. I'd rather get that thing that I want off a woman that is like resisting, and I know deep down she is wanting more than just that thing, but I would rather go to that woman because it feeds my sense of power and control. And, you know, it makes me feel relevant. It makes me feel powerful. I like the idea of conquering something, getting something from a woman, not partaking in something with a woman who's also decided she wants to partake in that activity. No, I just want to take that thing from a woman. So I'm just going to manipulate. I'm going to lie. I'm going to deceive. I'm going to future fake. I'm going to love bomb. Throw some gaslighting in there too. And that will get me closer to my goal.
I sleep with men for money, and you can't pay most women in this industry to take a shower with their client. It's absolutely standard in this industry for the client to take a shower at the beginning of the booking, and that is included in their paid time. So they're paying to take a shower alone. So why won't we jump in? I guarantee you they will screw up our hair and makeup. The amount of times I have told a man, do not get my hair or face wet, and they will somehow accidentally literally pick up that handheld little sprayer and spray me right in the face. Once or twice I think this was done deliberately, but most of the time it is just genuinely an accident because they're not paying attention to what their hands are doing, right? They're otherwise occupied and they always think it's really funny. What they don't realize is that to do a blow dry, curl my hair, do a full face of makeup, that's at least 2 hours of work. And even if they don't get my hair completely drenched, they're still going to screw it up. I have extremely porous hair. A lot of people here in Australia do because we have very hard water. It just destroys your hair. So your hair just goes really frizzy whenever it's around water. So if you're having a hot shower, even if you don't get your hair directly under the water, it's going to get frizzy and steam up because of all the steam. Same with your makeup, it's going to start separating because of the steam. Don't get me wrong, us workers definitely take showers in between bookings, but we usually do it on a much colder setting. We make sure all the fans are on. I would even leave the shower door open, and it's a very dedicated wash where we're very quickly washing, but very well. So our hair and makeup does not have that much time to get ruined. And it's also a time thing. Most workers will try to stack multiple bookings in a day. This means there's less travel cost. If they're renting a hotel room, it means that they can spread out the cost of that hotel room amongst multiple clients rather than having to book multiple nights. And also we tend to just have a day or time that is the most popular. It's not like guys will book in, slowly kind of dribble in throughout the week. They all want the same time. So often you will have them almost back to back. You do not have 2 hours between a booking to do your hair and makeup. Back when I worked in establishments, I would see up to 16 men a night. If I fully washed my hair and restyled it, I literally wouldn't have any hair left. It would fall out from the damage. Our skin and our hair are part of, what makes us money. We've got to look after it. So keeping it dry and healthy is very important. I see so few clients now. We're talking less than 1 a week. So now I'm happy to jump in the shower. But for most workers, it's just not worth it.
And somebody got to say it. The only people that are still breeding and having kids and procreating are slow people. You got to be slow. That's the only explanation I can think of. Either you're slow, you're delusional, you live in some type of delusional la-la land. I don't know. You don't have no type of situational awareness. It got to be something. Arrested development, male-centeredness, something. And that's why I think the world will never change, because there will always be people to continue the cycle. There will always be poor people continuing the cycle. There will always be traumatized people continuing the cycle. There will always be male-centered women continuing the cycle. And like I said, slow people, because slow people don't think ahead of anything. Intelligence be chasing them, but they're just too damn fast. Y'all be doing exactly what the government want us to do, to continue to have kids, to continue procreating, so the cycle can continue and nothing will ever change. As long as we keep having kids, nothing will ever change. Y'all are giving them exactly what they want. But who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Y'all want a mini-me.
As a woman, I would never date a big, tall, strong man, because what if you're dating someone and you get kidnapped by an evil emperor and taken to a coliseum, and you have to fight each other in hand combat to the death for the amusement of a crowd, and of course the emperor as well. Oh, I'm dating a man 6'5", pure muscle. I'm a goner. I stand no chance. But with my short kings by my side, or a tall, scrawny man, that's the only in I need. Even though I'm scrawny myself and these men are probably stronger than me, I just need an opening. All I need is an opening. Okay, so I pull down his pants, tear his off with my teeth. I've sharpened my fangs. So I'm sorry, but if tearing a man's off with your teeth is politically incorrect, then I don't want to be politically correct. Where was I? Oh yeah. He bleeds out. I rip his head off. He bleeds out more. because his head's ripped off by me. And the crowd cheers, and I become the emperor's new wife. But here's the plot twist, he's short. I do the same thing to him. And then I'm the empress. And everyone has to obey me. So that's why you should never date a big, tall, strong guy.
When I had sex for the first time ever with my first boyfriend, he managed to convince me, just to cover his own back, I think, that it's not possible for women to have an orgasm. He said, no, this is something that's created in the movies and in the media so that women don't stop having sex, so that we don't die out as a species. So the media's convincing women that that is possible for them so that they continue trying to achieve it, and then babies are made. And I thought, God, cheers, mate. Well, thank you for letting me know. Blimey, that's kind of him. Then he developed a porn addiction, and he introduced me to this porn thing. I'm watching it, I'm thinking, oh, has anyone noticed those women look like they might be enjoying this? Sorry, strike me down if I'm wrong, but she's having quite a good time, it appears. And he looks me dead in the eye and he says, yes, you idiot. It's porn. It's fake. Yeah. It's pretend. Nobody's having fun. That's not a thing. It's not until I've left him, and obviously I've moved on with my life to somebody else, and I've thought, he's pulling my leg, wasn't he? Well, I've been pranked. Ugh. Shite. Never mind. Well.
Old guys leaving their wives. Old, I mean like 50, 60, something like that, and you're leaving your wife because you don't love her anymore. And you think the grass will be greener on the other side? What are you thinking? Where do you think you're going? You think you're gonna find your peace without that woman who was doing everything for you, providing your safety, your comfort? Or you think that young chick is gonna love you for all your elderly bits and pieces? For how long? What are you thinking? What are you doing?
Hot take, I think that we should start taking men that have been cheated on multiple times as red flags. I have never come into contact with a man that got cheated on that I didn't later realize why she did it. Do I condone cheating? No. Would I ever cheat? No. Do I understand? Yeah, I have one ex. He got cheated on in the relationship before me. By the end of our relationship, I fully understood her. I didn't cheat on him. I just left him, which is something that you guys might want to consider instead of cheating. But I understand why his ex did it. I fully understand his ex. I had a talking stage with this evil ass dude. His ex cheated on him and left him for his best friend. You know how badly I wish I could cheat on him and leave him for his best friend and double traumatize him? Because that man was so evil. That man looked me dead in my face and said, I guess I just don't have that much respect for women. Your ex did not dog you enough. She should have done worse. If he's been cheated on 4 times, he's probably doing something wrong. I'm not even gonna lie. This does not apply to women, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like this does not apply to women because women cheat when their men are lacking something, typically, and men cheat because they're just hornballs. Like, it's very different. Does that mean I think there aren't women out there that go and cheat recreationally? No, like there definitely are. I think there's way less than men that cheat recreationally. If a man tells me he's been cheated on, I ask what he did. And then he tells me, I don't know. And then I hang out with him for a month and then I know what he did. Okay. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Bye.
If you're ever down bad, just remember I stayed with someone for like 5 years that cheated on me with numerous Walmart versions of me. And that's not just me saying something out of regression. That's people telling me that they were Walmart versions of me. Everyone knew. Stayed with someone that punched holes in the walls when he got jealous because I was getting attention. And by getting attention, I mean like maybe someone looking at me for a little longer than he deemed okay. Taped pictures of us from the ceiling hanging on balloons for his birthday. After knowing all of this. 5 years. And that didn't start on the 5th year. No. So don't feel bad. You know, we all make mistakes. Hopefully we learn from them.
Being in a relationship
with a nice guy, like smotheringly, feels exactly the same as when you go camping and you sleep in a tent and you get in your super warm sub-zero sleeping bag because it's cold at night, and then you sleep in and you wake up when the sun is high in the sky and the tent is still zipped and you're in that sleeping bag. That feeling where you are like, I need to get out. It's like there's nothing else. You are all consumed by this deep panic feeling. You're scrambling. You get out of that thing. You usually have trouble with the tent zipper because of course you do. But the feeling of needing to get out of that relationship, like a smothering, too much kind of guy, person, feels exactly like that to me. There's just this desperate primal scream that rises up inside of you as you're like not quite sure what the feeling is, like why it's not right, because you're warm, like you're being taken care of. And then you're just like, oh my God, I'm suffocating. And yeah, that's exactly what that feels like. I really love metaphors. Sometimes they can do a lot more for us than just describing things. If anyone is stuck in one of those relationships, please unzip the tent and just run into the woods. You'll be okay. You might run into a bear, but no, you're gonna be okay. Get out. Get out.
When I first started dating him, he paid for everything. I offered to split 50-50, but he always said, I got it. Dinner, dates, trips, he paid every time. So after a while, I'm like, all right, cool. It's not that I couldn't, but he was like, he's the man, he's gonna pay. And never once did he complain. He was setting a standard, and I followed his lead. Then after a while, he started saying little comments. I feel like I'm always paying. You never grab the check. And I'm thinking like, what the hell? So then I'm like, all right, let me get this. He's like, no, I'm good. The comments would continue. Man, I pay for everything. You really want to eat all that? You really have to go on this trip? Like, was he not genuine in the beginning? Is this just to impress me? Now wanting to impress me has expired. It was an expiration date or something. I don't want to impress this bitch no more. Because I could have been splitting things the whole time. But he didn't want that then. But now he does. Try to make me feel like I'm guilty of something. What are you supposed to do in this situation? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. What do you guys think?
Women need to stop doing this to men right now, enabling them to be losers. The more you spend your days yapping and nagging at that man, telling him how he should be treating you, speaking to a fucking brick wall, the more you're showing him that you're not going anywhere and he can continue acting however he wants. First of all, you cannot change a man. You shouldn't want to change a man. Don't even try. Don't waste your time. Trust me, it's ill. Yuck. Men are not there to be changed, okay? What you do need to do is find the one that doesn't need changing, is find the one that knows how to behave like a grown adult, with respect, dignity, honesty, who worships the ground you walk on, okay? Stop wasting your time trying to teach a rat how to behave like a king. Secondly, stop telling that man how he should be treating you, okay? He already knows, and you know what? He doesn't care. He does not care. In fact, the more you tell him, the more you're annoying him, and the more you're driving him away, and the more he's going to act like that. So just stop. Stop doing this. Close your mouth. Press the block button. Pack up your things, get in your car, drive away to a faraway land, and never see that man again. That man was not born yesterday. He knows what he's doing. He's on the same planet as all of us, all right? Please stop wasting your time on these men. There's a whole life out there to live and a whole world of goodness to experience and enjoy. Your purpose in this world is not to baby a man, is not to mother a man, is not to teach a man how to treat you, how to act, what to do, what to say. No. Your purpose is to feed love into yourself, is to live a beautiful life and to share that with someone who can match you at your level. So go do that, girl, because you deserve it.
I ruined my date last night. It wouldn't be true Tara fashion if I didn't. However, we're going to therapy through it and I'm going to tell you why. So the first one was a reservation for dinner. Kind of already suspected that, kind of already knew that. And then while we were there in person, face to face, he says, okay, the second one is that we're going to go see the Scream movie. I mentioned in December that I wanted to see the Scream movie and I was really excited for it to come out. Here's where I wanted the floor to just eat me alive in that moment, like a big wormhole, is that I did not mention to him that Scream is something that my daughter and I go and see every single time a new movie comes out. He could tell by my face instantly that something was wrong. This is where the therapy is, because I had three options. One, I just go to the movie and I don't tell him or my daughter. I just give them both their own unique experiences. 2, I tell him the importance of the movie and why I can't go to the movie, which results in canceling and or the 3 of us going to the movie, which none of us are ready for that. So I am obviously panicked, and I tell him, I can't go see this movie. This is something that I do with my daughter. I anticipated a lot of anger, and I was ready for it. And I also knew when I said that there was a chance that it was like, oh, there's no pleasing you, so I want nothing to do with you. Instead, he said, oh, I didn't know that that's the importance of it to you. How about you text your daughter and you and her go see the movie? This is where therapy comes in, and I have to be uncomfortable and I have to learn how to communicate healthy and effectively. So I did end up saying like, okay, yes, I will take my daughter. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really sorry that I have to like cancel our date. The anxiety of the repercussions of making that decision gave me really, really bad anxiety. However, it was the right and only decision for where I was at in my life right now. He was extremely understanding, not mad or anything. It sounds really dumb to be like, oh, someone would be mad at me for that, but people have been mad at me for less. So the therapy is working. We're still setting boundaries. We're still holding ourselves accountable. The therapy and dating is a little hard and wildly uncomfortable. Obviously, after it happened and going into this week, I'm just going to have anxiety because I'm going to be like, man, did I really tick him off? Like, is he still going to want to talk to me? And I'm just going to have to sit in that uncomfortable. I'm just going to have to sit in the fact that like that was my boundary. So we're still happy. We're still healing. And we're going to handle our anxiety this week like a boss bitch. But it was a really great night. And I had a lot of fun with my daughter. And I have the cutest video on my Ring camera because he picked me up at my door. You won't ever get to see that, but that's not the point. So yeah, the therapy is working. We're just learning to live in the uncomfortable and accept new things and accept kindness for what it is and rewiring our brain to be a lot more healthy than it was.
I'm 37, not married, and never had any kids. Any girls who are looking to get into this type of lifestyle, make sure that you are always prioritizing yourself, because a lot of these kinds of men who are ultra wealthy, ultra successful, they are not as emotionally available as normal guys. Make sure that you're not getting your validation from men, that you're able to self-soothe yourself, that you're able to control your emotion. You're gonna meet these guys out at nice restaurants, so go find where wealthy people in your area hang out. Like, Google the most predominant zip codes around your area. You're also going to find other women who are amongst your same caliber and amongst your same mindset and looking for the same kind of guys, or they're currently with provider type of guys. Make really good friends with them, because they're going to be able to introduce you to their friend group. Want to make sure that you're with women who have the same outlook on life as you, because there's going to be times when once you get a guy like this, you're going to need your friends' support.
I love how men assume when you like them that you want to be exclusive right away. Or when you're going on dates with them, you want to just have them all to yourself. I just feel like society has this narrative that women are the clingy ones. They want more. They want to be exclusive. They want commitment. Men are the ones who feel trapped and need to push away. Sometimes the girls just want to date. Sometimes they like you and they're going to show that they like you, and they also still want to date other people. I just don't love the feeling of oh, women are the clingy ones, or they always want more. When I look at my friends, it's the girls with the rosters. And they shouldn't be shamed for that either. I feel like you should go into dating accepting the fact that people might want to date multiple people, and until you have the conversation, don't assume what someone wants.
Men are always gonna find something to bitch about on here, especially with me. I seem to press you fuckers. I made a video saying that if a man truly loves you, you resting won't piss him off. He's actually gonna enjoy you resting. And a lot of guys took that as I don't do anything. Are you new here? Are you fucking new? Clearly. Let me break it down for you, okay? My man is okay with me resting while he's at work because of all the shit I do. Does that make sense? It's actually so funny to me that you guys immediately ran to the fact that I don't do laundry, I don't cook, I don't clean. Again, are you fucking new here? Half the time when my man uses the kitchen, he has to ask me where we keep shit. That's how little he cooks. He doesn't do the laundry. I do the laundry. He does not clean the bathroom. I clean the bathroom. I pay for our main car. It's my car. My car. I pay so much money for this car that we drive literally over 50% of the time. He uses his truck for work. It's my car that I pay for that we use all the time. I pay for groceries. Like, I contribute to the household. I pay so we can eat as well. I have a job. Yes, I do work, thank you. And I also keep my hot body for him, so if you're jealous, just say that. Don't be a dick to me because you can't get a good woman, god damn.